And I talked to someone yesterday who was in so much pain. I mean, during the call, you could hear the tremendous amount of pain this man was in. He was like, I'm working 3 jobs, Jason. I don't know how I can do more. At one point, I was running 2 of my restaurants. I let one go. I'm doing the side hustle. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And it was powerful. He's like, I feel like I'm letting down my wife. I'm letting down my 2 young girls. And I know they're going to need more as they get older. What do I do? If that resonates with you, or even if you haven't quite hit your big goals, some of those dreams, some of those goals, some of those big visions. So, how many of you feel like this year just didn't go the way you planned? And because of that, how many of you feel behind? Like you should have been further ahead financially by now. Maybe you started the year with a goal, and somewhere along the line, life hit. Things happen, change, the one thing that's constant. Maybe you started an infinite banking policy you're about to, but froze. Or maybe you're just stuck back in survival mode, just hoping that something is going to go your way. So, first, let me say how proud I am of each and every one of you for showing up today. This isn't a flashy money webinar, this is a truth telling session, and that takes courage. So, thank you for being here, for showing up for yourself, for your future family, and it's amazing. And here's what you're going to walk away with today: a simple, shame free way to look at your finances, even if it's going to hurt a little bit right now, and a 3-step plan to reset your habits and regain control. It's easy as that. 1, 2, 3. And how to revive your IBC journey if for some reason you've got off track. And most importantly, a sense of peace, knowing it's not too late to turn things around. And I just want to share a quick story about myself, if that's all right. And I've worked with hundreds, if not thousands, of people who thought they were too far behind. I'm starting too late. I wish I would have known about this earlier. And one woman that I coached told me, like, Jason, I thought my policy was a mistake. Just wanted to use it till I got back on my feet after losing my job. And she didn't give up. She got honest. She started noticing what was going on inside her policy, what she wasn't paying attention to, how her habits hadn't shifted. And she started changing immediately because she connected something. I don't know what it was that connected for her, but I've seen the shift happen, and it's powerful and it's immediate. It's an immediate change. And that's why we're here, because this session's here to help you reset. No guilt, just truth and a new path forward. We're going to walk away, or you'll walk away with 5 clear steps from facing your truth to realigning or reigniting your policy and your banking journey. And you're going to leave with a simple plan that you will start today, no matter your income or how bad 2025 may have been. So if you guys are ready to make a turning point, and even if you're in a good place, there's always the next step. We never arrive. That is living. So let's dive in. Like I said, not all of us have had a winning year. I've connected with thousands of people this year, and some people are doing really well. Others, not so well. An investment hasn't come back. An investment stopped coming in, or maybe they had a horror of a tenant and now they're trying to rehab a facility or whatever they might be doing. But like I was saying, not everyone's having a winning year. Like, even if you're moving forward, even if you're gaining momentum, even if you feel like things are right around the corner about to shift, I've connected with tons of people who their investments aren't going the way they thought. Maybe they've slowed down, or they've stopped altogether, or their home hasn't sold, or something with their investments hasn't worked out, or their job or their dream or whatever. And all that is just an obstacle that's going to have a lesson in it for you to go forward. And I talked to someone yesterday who was in so much pain. I mean, during the call, you could hear the tremendous amount of pain this man was in. He was like, I'm working 3 jobs, Jason. I don't know how I can do more. At one point, I was running 2 of my restaurants. I let one go. I'm doing the side hustle. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And it was powerful. He's like, I feel like I'm letting down my wife. I'm letting down my 2 young girls, and I know they're going to need more as they get older. What do I do? This is an example of someone who I wish was here today to hear this and that will get this message, because this session alone would help him reframe all of that conversation to give him a better path forward. And that's what you're going to get today. So just kind of tune in. And it's not about how much that you have or that you have coming in or that you can create. It's really, truly about how much can you keep and what are you doing with it. This is going to be as simple, what I'm going to show you today, as just changing that one thing we always talk about. You guys know what it is. Pop in the chat. Changing one thing. What are we changing? What's the one thing that when we change and the more powerfully we change it, everything is going to start accelerating for the better? Because why? It's going to change our environment. Yes, our mindset. But what else, Christian? What is the one habit financially that we all need to change? Now, mindset will get you all the way there. Something even simpler. And it's just following the first law of wealth, isn't it? It's looking at, and it's also being honest for where you're at now. Because guess what? If you've been going past and jumping to the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth thing, well, then how will you ever arrive at your big goal? Does that make sense? And that's what we were thinking about this week when Patty and I were talking about this. We're like, well, how do we get people that are in that pain? You're at a point where you want to ask for help. Maybe you've been around this. You're like, I get it. I know this stuff. Well, sorry, but if you're not doing it, you don't know it yet. Or I don't know anyone who's read a manual to drive a car and watched all the YouTube videos to drive a car, but then they don't get behind the wheel of a Ferrari and just take off, or a fighter pilot or whatever it is, right? You have to get the reps in, and you can only get the reps by doing. And so if you're off track, if that resonates with you, or even if you haven't quite hit your big goals, and I know some of you guys are rock stars here and gals are rock stars, and you've hit some of those dreams, some of those goals, some of those big visions, but I know you want more. Otherwise, you wouldn't be spending your time with me, correct? Hey, if you're new here, thank you. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Yeah, just smash that thing. And I want you to then subscribe, ring the bell, because it might turn orange, as Connor Patrick says, so you get alerted to new content. Help spread this message. Help invite others to the Infinite Banking Bus. If you find this valuable, then bring other people here and share this knowledge with them. It's uncommon knowledge. It's what the wealthiest have been doing. And what I just showed you, remember where we just were, what are we here talking about? The banks are making a ton of money and we're done with them. Done with the banks. So let's get back into this and start going through real scenarios of real clients and how they taken back control by becoming their own banking system. So smash, like, subscribe, and let's go. Let's start getting honest. And I want you to make a note. This is when, if you're not driving, right, stay safe. But when you're grabbing a pen and paper and you're going to write down how much have you saved right now? Like how much is in your accounts, in your checking, and your money market, and whatever account. Make a note to yourself. How much have you saved, or how much is available, liquid, right now that you have access to? That could be a combination of your safe, your checking, your savings, your money market. But how much do you have right now? Then the second thing I want you to know is, how much is your next paycheck going to be, or your next commission, or your next big payday coming in for whatever it is that you're receiving? How much for the rest of the month or next month is coming in? And what are your essential expenses, right? Just the essentials. Remember how a couple of weeks ago we measured all of our expenses for 90 days and we said, hey, what matters? You know, what's important and aligned? What needs to be postponed and what needs to go? It's simple. We're always keeping it in threes, simple. So for this one, you just want to know how much you have saved right now. How much is your next paycheck going to be, your next payday, your next commission? And what are your essential expenses? Just know those three numbers. Get closer to your money, because this way you know exactly how much you weigh financially. Does that make sense? I love the activity. I love the activity. You guys already know the rules of the game. But that moment that you know that truth, and I know some of you need to hear this. I know the majority of us need to hear this because I hear it on all the calls. You want to look at that bank statement, know how much is coming in. No judgment, just facts, just straight numbers. How much do you financially weigh? And that knowledge is going to create options. And what happens after you have options? Everything becomes what? Possible. And so then as you're reflecting on this stuff, you're really going to start knowing, again, how close are you to your money? Like, are you and your money like maybe dating? Are you and your money like having a serious relationship, maybe going steady? Are you guys engaged? Have you gotten married? Like, where are you with your money right now? How's your money feel about you? How do you feel about your money? Can all of you say, I love money and money loves me? Because this is going to be the turning point right now, because now you know how much you financially weigh. Am I right? You've weighed in with the easy stuff. How much is coming in every month? How much have I saved? What percentage is that I've saved? And what are our expenses? What's important? What's not? And now you have the launching pad. Now you have the, instead of saying, I can't do this, I'm not going to be able. It's been a bad year. I'm doing terrible. Oh man. We almost got there, Shane. We almost got there, Christian. What are we going to do? Like, how are we going to get there? The next thing we do is what? We decide. We decide to go somewhere else. And so that's when you reflect on what really happened this year. Get really honest with yourself. Again, it might not be fun, but it might be a whole lot of fun as well. So from here comes what you guys all already know. But let me ask you, you guys all popped. You knew the rule. All of you at home watching this, listening to this, who's read the richest man in Babylon, know what the first law of wealth is. And like I was saying earlier, I kind of alluded to this. How can you practice the second law, the third law, the fourth law, the fifth law, the sixth law, the seventh law of wealth, or any of the principles that Nelson teaches in becoming your own banker if we don't follow law number one? Pretty simple. If you want to be wealthy, do the first thing the wealthy are doing. Let that land. If you want to be wealthy, do the first thing the wealthy are doing and have been doing since 1910 and have been doing almost 4 times as great as the 10% I'm recommending. So if you want to be really wealthy, stupid wealthy, like FU money wealthy, then start paying yourself 38%, but start somewhere. Start at 10, make a decision. Even if it's $50, even if it's $25, $10, whatever it is, every time money comes into your account, pay yourself, automate it, make it permanent, and turn it up slowly, surely over time, and turn it up and make a commitment to someone. Make a commitment. It's not about the amount, it's about the habit. Another couple I helped get started yesterday has been around this stuff for 14 months, just got on the mat, just started their application process, and they have big dreams to grow both of their businesses, to expand, to buy more time back. Husband's a veteran. They have a side business. It's really cool. And it's an incredibly young couple who has everything in front of them. The one thing they were missing was building that financial foundation, saving, paying themselves at least 10%. They're saving less than 3% right now. And so now with this forced savings plan, this is going to shift, right? Can you see that? It's going to shift their trajectory forward and how they're going to start doing what the wealthy are doing. And now if you've had a call with me before or our team before or thought, hey, maybe infinite banking is for me 10 years ago or 25 years ago, like I spoke with a woman earlier this week who said, hey, I gave Nelson a big hug when I met him. I knew when I met him that this was a game changer. And yet 25 years later, she hasn't found a starting point. And so I get the concept. She's sharing it with her niece who changed her life. So many people, but we're not saving enough money, America. We're not saving the 10%. We're saving less than 5. Not you guys, though. Not everyone else. You guys got this. But this is a reminder, if you're not where you want to be in 2025 or any time in life, what do you have to do? Get honest, get real, be okay with it, acknowledge yourself, high five yourself, because now you know that things have to shift to go forward, to drive faster, to be free. And that's what you want. More money, more time, more magic, more freedom. Am I right? Who wants more freedom here? Anyone? And so now we're making this plan, right? Not the excuse. Don't tell me you're waiting to the new year. You got the holidays coming up. I know. I'm a dad. I got stuff coming up. We got some big, big, exciting stuff that we're going to be sharing with you soon about that family freedom framework. But like right now, I don't want the excuses of, hey, I'm going to be eating too much turkey, maybe a little too much eggnog. Maybe you got too many parties and cookies you're going to eat. Not today. Get out of here. Today is the day that you decide to change. Not next year when all the common folk decide to change. Today, not tomorrow. Not like Wimpy, I'll, give me $1 today or a burger today and I'll gladly pay you 2 tomorrow, whatever he used to say in Popeye, right? And so now it's time to, if you have a policy and you haven't been using it, dust it off. Figure out what that next step is for you. Do you need to make some investments to learn something that you know, like, and understand, start making leverage? What has to happen next for you to hit the next level? And why isn't it already happening? That's what today's about. How present are you to where you actually are? This is easy stuff. This is your challenge. It's this simple. Your challenge today is that you got clarity. Hopefully, you're facing some hard truths. Find an accountability buddy. You've learned the 10% rule, and that's the habit, not a number. 10% of what you gross annually, not your neighbor, not someone else, not what you saw in a video. It's 10% of what you gross. minimum. This is what we must pay ourselves first, love ourselves more, because you saw that the infinite banking concept isn't just a policy, it's a system waiting for you to use it. Use it, make the plan, not an excuse. Remember the woman I told you about? Remember the guy I told you about that were stressed, but they made one decision to protect their future, to change? Your moment, your choice. You have the first step of being honest with yourself. Now you have a new plan, a habit, and a new start. So the next challenge, join the 10% save challenge. Share with Patty and myself. Tell us where you're at. Send us your numbers, 10%, 11%, 12%. Send us the actual number if you want. Share as much as you feel comfortable with, but let us know where you're at. If you're at 3%, share 3%. But next month, send us a message saying you're at 4. So as always, if we do what the wealthy are doing, we won't be poor anymore. So as always, so grateful that you guys are here every week. I'm still believing I'll be here for a nice, short, Thankful Thursday Thanksgiving episode next week, but it'll be from a remote operation. But I think that's the direction I'm leaning in. Any votes on that? Too many spiked custards. And like Patty's putting in the link here, if you've slowed down, if you haven't been practicing, or maybe you started your process and you didn't finish, or you're just getting introduced to this, you guys know when's a better time than now to get on the big ass infinite banking bus. Invite your friends, invite your family. A lot of you are doing awesome with that. Introductions, people being introduced to me all the time, coming in and having that conversation. Jason, how can I do this? How can I do that? How can I reach my goals faster and quicker using a policy that puts my family first, with controls, with guarantees? How can I? So as always, be blessed. Have an amazing, amazing rest of your week. Fuel pedal is stuck and full throttles on saving. I love that, Christian. Everybody take an example from Christian right there. Book the call with me if you haven't spoke with me. If you're having wins, share those. We want to hear. And as always, only about half the people who are watching these videos have subscribed. So if you haven't, hit that subscribe button, help get the message out, smash the button, ring the bell, because it might just turn blue. And I'm going to see all of you in this next video where we keep talking about how magical this infinite banking process is when you use it. So keep it simple, keep it real, keep having fun. Love you all. Be blessed. Until next week.